I have to give a shout out to Adrian Thomas for sending me the story. Now, I've never talked about Elizabeth Warren ever on my channel because I really never felt the need to actually talk about her. But she's doing something now that is rubbing myself the wrong way, and it's definitely going to rub you the wrong way as the listener by the time I get through this video. She is doing something that many of these politicians, as I like to call them, because that's all they do, is lie and trick and deceive, whether they are on the right or on the left. That's one thing that kills me, when you have people out there thinking that they can speak on the behalf of black people and say that we are liberals and all types of stuff, or we shouldn't be liberal, or we should be on the right or be more conservative because the liberals haven't done this for us. Well, none of them have done anything for us. So basically, black people should probably be some of the most uh almost neutral type of people, or sit out until we figure out what is best for our best interest, because neither one of them have done a damn thing for us, to be quite honest. But Elizabeth Warren, aka Miss $5 Indian, who at one point claimed that she was a Native American up until she got exposed and she stopped calling herself that, even though we know that there are no blonde haired, blue eyed Native Americans, but whatever, has now found a new base that she wants to target. Now, we all know that there is this talk of reparations just afoot. And, when it comes up, it always is about, it mainly should be about us. But they'll find a way to switch the narrative and take it away from us, who was the ones who are deserving of these reparations and these tangibles, and put it onto another subject matter. Now, there was a piece that came out, and it was an opinion piece, where it was saying how the LGBT community should get reparations. And I was going to talk about it, but I had decided not to. But now I have to talk about it more so because of the statements that Elizabeth Warren has just come out with. She says that there should be reparations for gay and lesbian couples. And this article that I'm looking at is coming from ZeroHedge.com. And it was posted today on June 23rd, 2019. Now, she was just trying to be in black people's corner, but now she sees that it's not working. So she's doing what every other person is doing. They know that they cannot get to black people, so they're going to the next group, which is the LGBT community. All I have to say is, know when you're being used. This is exactly why black people at this critical point have the power in their corner, because they know that we're not falling for their tricks and their lies anymore. I think now black people are more aware of what's going on, and we're not falling for it. Just a couple days ago, you had Van Jones talking about black people need to save democracy. I said, no, we do not. At this point, black people are in the business of saving ourselves, and democracy is nowhere in the equation of that. So it doesn't surprise me that Elizabeth Warren is doing something like this when she had claimed that she was with or for black people at one point. I never fell for her little trickery to begin with. I've never been on her bandwagon, and I don't know how many others can be as well. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article so you can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. After a week of discussions about reparations for slavery, soundly dismissed by numerous African American speakers, and they're talking about that sham of a meeting at the Hill, which I do not acknowledge whatsoever, except to only talk crap about it. It says Senator Elizabeth Warren has tried to outdo her opponents by seeking reparations for another group of repressed and long-suffering individuals, even though these individuals have never been enslaved. Warren reintroduced, well, at least the black ones weren't never enslaved for their sexuality. Let's put it that way. Warren reintroduced the Refund Equality Act, a bill that would allow same-sex couples to amend past tax returns and receive funds from the IRS. The federal government forced legally married same-sex couples in Massachusetts to file as individuals and pay more in taxes for almost a decade. Now, look at that. A decade compared to 400 plus years of chattel slavery. And theirs was just merely on marriage. Ours was based on getting tortured, getting murdered, getting raped, and a host of other things that I can't even name right now for hundreds of years. And you're talking about people getting married for 10. Are you serious? We need to call out that discrimination and make it right. Congress should pass the Refund Equality Act immediately. And let me say one other thing. The only reason Elizabeth Warren is talking about this, besides the obvious, which I just talked about, is because look at what month she's bringing this up in. June is considered to be Pride Month. So she's trying to pander to get the LGBT vote in their month. She's not fooling me. Notice that a lot of these politicians are pulling out all the stops for that community this month. They never said anything about this any other month while they're campaigning, but they want to wait till this month to talk about it. Just like they like to try to talk about black people a lot during Black History Month. But now, because the topic of reparations happened, now they're talking about us a little bit more. Let me continue. As NBC News reports, a report by the Joint Committee on Taxation released Tuesday estimated that taxpayers who were in same-sex marriages prior to the repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act in 2013 would be eligible for up to $57 million in refunds. Warren introduced a version of the bill in 2017. As we concluded in March, after noting the spread of reparation, it is now a worldwide phenomenon. Guilt is not a constructive emotion on a personal level. It prevents us from letting go of the past and moving on with life. Could this be true on a societal level too? The phenomena of virtue signaling, fooling ourselves and others into thinking we are making a positive difference with ostentatious displays of do-gooding, is a common way of temporarily allaying the social guilt without requiring the sacrifice of work of genuinely creating change in the world. Thus, we remain stuck in a downward spiral of self-loathing while simultaneously failing to correct the ongoing injustices we see around us. Listen. All I'm going to say is this. If a community gets reparations just based on what I just read over a group of people who had to endure so much for so long and to this day still do, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be some serious issues. But to be quite honest, I don't think that this is actually going to really go forward. Because like I said, she's pandering at this moment. She's trying to get votes. She knows she's not working out well with the black community. So she's going to the next one to try to get it from them. All I can say is this. To the black people who are part of that community, just know that she's not really pandering to you. You just happen to fall into that group, but she's not really pandering to you. Know when you are being used. That's all I have to say. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.